Essex.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move second reading of Bill 50, an act to amend the Highway Traffic Act.
Mr. Nicholls has moved second reading of Bill 50, an act to amend the Highway Traffic Act. Pursuant to Standing Order 98, the member has 12 minutes for his presentation. Mr. Nicholls.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's with great pleasure I rise today to deliver remarks for my private member's Bill 50, Highway Traffic Amendment Act regarding school bus camera systems, 2014. But before getting into the details of the bill, I'd just like to describe how this bill came to be. I was at an event in my riding a couple of months ago, and a concerned bus driver came up to me and told me about a shocking number of vehicles that what we call blow-by stop school buses as they pick up children with their stop signs deployed and red lights flashing. It's an issue that I wasn't totally familiar with, but I was hooked the moment the bus driver shared the story with me. After the issue was brought to my attention, my office arranged a meeting with local school bus operators so we could gain insights and expertise. They told me that I would not believe the number of drivers that pass buses with their stoplights flashing on a daily basis. It was clear to them that we had a serious problem on our hands. And at that point, it was very clear to me that, yes, we did, and still do, have a very serious problem on our hands. It's currently against the law to pass buses with deployed stop signs and stop arms. Yet the majority of cases go unreported as bus drivers are unrealistically expected to grab a vehicle description as cars blow by. You know, earlier this year, the Independent School Bus Operators Association launched the I Stop, You Stop campaign, which was their attempt to benchmark province-wide stop arm violations. They received reports from 21 transportation consortia throughout the province, and their findings were truly shocking. In only 5 days, from May 5th to the 9th, a total of 754 incidents were in fact reported. Speaker, bus operators and police shared with me that convictions rarely occur even when a school bus driver can get a vehicle description. Not all police forces have the resources to pursue the matter. You'd be hard-pressed to find a group of more passionate, more concerned with safety than bus operators and their drivers. And sometimes, Speaker, I call those drivers the unsung heroes of the roads who protect and work hard to protect our children's safety. These drivers, Speaker, bring over 800,000 students to school each morning and drop them off every afternoon throughout the province. It takes a lot of dedication to ensure that this is done safely, and frankly, they don't get enough recognition for all the work that they do. And sadly, Speaker, it often takes a tragedy for us to pay attention to school bus safety. But these people are devoted to it. After hearing just how extreme the problem is and seeing the concern and worry that this places on drivers and parents, I knew something had to be done. Initially, I considered making it mandatory for all school buses in Ontario to install stop arm camera systems. However, after discussing the issue with stakeholder groups, including bus operators and associations, I discovered that, well, this would bring a list of potential problems. First off, bus operators told me that cameras are not needed on all buses in the province, as certain routes don't have any on-road student pickup or drop-off. There were also concerns about, well, who would pay for the cameras and the camera system. So I asked them then, what can I do to help? In other words, it was the old, help me, help you. Is there anything at all that the province could do to help, even if it's just a minor change? Well, they all agreed that amending the Highway Traffic Act to allow images obtained from stop arm cameras of motorists illegally passing school buses stopped with their red light warning lights flashing was a great start. And this is why my bill is limited in scope. It doesn't seek to sort out who has to install the stop arm cameras. That's a decision best made by municipalities and bus operators. My bill also avoids spelling out who should be responsible for the purchase of these cameras or their maintenance. These decisions are best left for the Ministry of Transportation in full consultation with expert stakeholders. However, what this bill does seek to do is to ensure that communities that have begun pilot projects for stop arm cameras on school buses and other communities that will follow won't face any roadblocks when they attempt to use the evidence that they have gathered in court. This is something that is already occurring in many jurisdictions throughout the United States as well as Canada. Numerous states have already passed laws allowing the use of cameras on school buses to capture video images of motorists illegally passing and endangering children, and some have even made them mandatory statewide. Here in Canada, PEI passed specific legislation, and pilot programs have begun to spread throughout the country. Manitoba currently has a number of school boards using cameras, and Northern Albertan School Board recently launched their own pilot project last year. Closer to home, Speaker, Ottawa initiated their pilot project earlier this spring. Toronto has since followed suit and is in the early stages of their own test program. Speaker, it's clear to me that the use of stop-arm camera systems is increasing as communities look for ways to reduce the number of dangerous blow-bys that happen on a daily basis. This bill is based off of the section of the Highway Traffic Act dealing with red light cameras. If you're caught running a red light, that image could be used and can be used in court. It's all laid out in the Act. This bill, if passed, would mean a photograph of a vehicle obtained from a school bus camera system may be received as evidence in a proceeding under the Provincial Offences Act. This was asked for directly by the people who were involved in the initial stop-arm camera system pilot projects here in the province. Police have run into roadblocks when trying to take offending drivers to court, as there aren't any clear rules on the books for these new systems. Well, we need to take a proactive approach when it comes to this issue. These systems will continue to be installed on more buses, and the Highway Traffic Act must be updated to reflect this trend. School bus drivers that I've met with have all been incredibly supportive of the bill. They know all too well the danger and the potential for tragedy that occurs every day. Police officers with whom I have spoken with about this program agree that clarifying the Highway Traffic Act and putting in rules regarding stop-arm cameras is a good way to assist their efforts to catch drivers that illegally pass stopped school buses. And just yesterday, Speaker, I received a letter of support from the Ontario School Bus Association. I'd like to read just a portion of that letter, and I quote, "The Ontario School Bus Association, OSBA, supports Bill 50, which proposes the use of cameras on school buses to capture video images of motorists illegally passing school buses stopped with their red warning lights flashing. The video images can be used by police as evidence to prosecute owners of offending vehicles rather than the driver. These cameras, commonly referred to as stop-arm cameras, have proven effective in other jurisdictions across North America by increasing the prosecution rate and raising awareness of the consequences of breaking the law." Any school bus driver will tell you that illegal passing is a regular occurrence on Ontario's roads. Motorists who are either distracted, not paying attention, in a hurry, or unaware of the law illegally pass school buses that are stopped with their red warning lights flashing. Consequences of this behavior can be injury or even death of a child getting on or off a school bus. Stop-arm cameras would augment the on-road enforcement efforts by police in areas of the province where illegal passing of school buses is a problem. In addition, the Independent School Bus Operators Association has been a tremendous help. They also share a strong focus on promoting the safety of our children. I'm incredibly thankful for their expertise and their support. And lastly, Speaker, I've also heard words from encouragement, not only from members of my party, who have been supportive every step along the way, but also members on the government side. And I hope that they will lend their support to this bill and help protect the school children of this province. Speaker, I'm also thankful to promote this issue right here in the legislature. Drivers, police officers, counselors, and bus operators have all said that at the end of the day, awareness is the key to getting drivers to think twice and stop when school buses are picking up children. With that in mind, Speaker, we've already succeeded as we stand here today and discuss the problem. I think that we can all agree that the safety of our children is our #1 priority. Every day, hundreds of children are needlessly put at risk as drivers speed by stopped school buses. Catching the drivers that endanger our children is critical. It would lead to greater awareness of the severity of the issue. Stop-arm camera systems are starting to be more widely accepted and adopted by bus operators and communities across the province. This bill will allow them to continue their good work, knowing that legislation will help them, not hinder them. This bill will also, Speaker, make it easier for school bus drivers to do their jobs. It's unrealistic to expect drivers to simultaneously operate a school bus, look after the children who are getting on or off the bus, and also grab the license plate number and a vehicle description of a car that blow by their stop sign. It's why so many offenders are never caught. So, Speaker, today I would hope that right here in the legislature that all three parties will join together and support this bill. We need to do the right thing. Let's make life a little bit easier for school bus drivers. We've got enough on their plate as it is. And most importantly, let's work together to protect our children. You know, I look at it and I know that my time is close to an end. But we do know that, I mentioned earlier, that these school bus drivers, they're the unsung heroes in many cases, simply because they look out and guard and protect the safety of our children. We need to make their job easier. Without their help, without this bill passing, and with the proper legislation in place, I know that with this proper legislation, we can make it work